Sorry about the last video. This is video 3. Sorry about video 2 being cut off so abruptly. I ran over my 15-minute time limit for the free version of the software that I'm using to screen record. So let's jump on it. Alright, so we created this spike or whatever you wanted to create, fire, etc., etc. So now we need to code it so that whenever our main character walks into this, we will, damage will get caused. So let's go ahead and go into our main character sprite, edit, behaviors, and click inside the run and jump. Alright, so we have our code here. I'm just going to kind of start moving stuff up a little bit so that we can put our fresh line of code underneath. So first thing I'm going to need is we're now going to say, hey, so whenever you touch the spike, it's going to cause damage. It's going to hurt you. So let's go to a collision trigger. So we're inside our main character. So we're going to say whenever it collides with the, sorry, I don't know why it keeps doing that. Very sensitive mouse on the Macs. If you will go ahead and click on that, any type, whenever it collides with the spikes, it will, I need 2 number blocks under logic and math, and then give me 2 number blocks. So click on it twice. Alright, on the first number block, go ahead and rename this. This is how many lives you have. No, hives. Let's go ahead and call this actually, let's call this damage. Sorry about that. We're going to call that damage. And we're going to say every time you go into that spike or whatever your thing that's going to cause you damage, let's go ahead and say that's -1, right? And now let's go ahead and do this one. Label that live. So this is your total amount of lives. So let's go ahead and do that 3. And you can change this to anything you want. You don't have to keep it -1, 3. Just go into the traditional format of the old NES games. All right. So now that you have that, I can't see that if I'm playing the game. So you have that coded. We don't have it connected just yet. But I also now need to see it on the screen. So we need 2 labels. So if you'll go down to GUI, that's your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, your 6 main header. And if you'll go ahead and click on label twice. And now, since this one you have labeled as 3, you're going to want to make that label also say the number 3. All right, you don't have to type it out. You can change the color. Right? Please make sure that whatever you change it to, it goes off the, it doesn't blend in with the background. I know sometimes you'll have like a red against a blue, which is just very tough on the eyes. You can change how big, how small. You can change the lettering. You can see up in my upper left-hand corner. That's different. Alright, try that. You can do centering, different borders, etc., etc. You can come back and mess with that on your own. And now this one here, that's going to label. It's going to say, hey, this is your lives. This is how many lives you have. So go ahead and, where it says label, go ahead and rename that lives or health or whatever you want to rename that. You can go ahead and change this. I have the color that I chose before, right here at the bottom, that previous black. The blue against black will be fine. Alright, so now we need to connect these. So we have, whenever I hit the spikes, I'm going to get -1. That -1 is going to be added to 3. So -1 plus 3 is 2. And now we're going to go ahead and attach the out to the value so that it's showing you, hey, this number 3 is actually going to become a counter. And then that's doesn't need to be connected to anything. That's just to let the user know, hey, this number 3 means how many lives you have. So let's go ahead and hit OK. Now, in your upper left-hand corner, go ahead and move that over how you want it. I'm going to go ahead and go back in that real quick because I want the lettering to be the same. I forgot what I chose on the other one. That's close enough. I don't think it's the same exact, but you get what it is here. Alright, let's see if that worked. I'm going to go ahead and hit play. And 1, 2, 3. Alright, so it goes now. if you keep at it, you see how it goes -6, -7. Well, we want to go ahead and configure the game now to where it'll restart after, you lose all 3 lives. So let's go ahead and go back to where we just were inside your main character, edit, behaviors, double click on the run and jump. Alright, so we are going to do a restart game, right, after it gets to a certain, after we get to 0. So we gonna go ahead and have a filter. Let's see, filter is under properties maybe. There we go, logic and math. If you go ahead and click on the filter block, and I'm going to go ahead and move that label that's not connected. I'm going to put it above the other label, and then put the filter below this middle label. And we're going to go ahead and attach the 3, that out section, to the in. Alright, we're going to go ahead and click on this filter, and we're going to say equal to 0. So we're saying, hey, whenever you hit the spikes, you're going to get -1. Where's that -1 going to go? That's going to go into the 3, where you have 3 lives. You hit a spike, -1, -1, -1, and then you'll have 0. So we're saying the filter, whenever that label hits 0, you're going to restart the game, and that's under game flow. Alright, there we go. Game flow, and we're going to go ahead and click on restart game and connect pass to go, and this should work. I'm going to go ahead and click OK, or you could have clicked play. I'm just going to walk into my spikes. 1, 2. So now you have the beginning of the game. All right. Let's see. I think there's one more thing I want to show you. Let me check my list. Alright, one more thing. I think we can squeeze it into the rest of this video. Alright, let's make a collectible. You can choose whatever collectible you want. Go ahead and create new. Rename this. Actually, let's find our collectible first. I hit edit sprite. Now you can make your own collectible, or you can go to browse in the bottom right, and then click on select category, upper right. Choose anything, objects, blocks, etc., etc. I'm going to go back to objects, and we got the coins, right? It's pretty common here, and you actually have the 1, 2, 3, 4 to where if you want to do an animation. So I'm just go ahead and click coin. You could always you can always color, excuse me, and make a different color coin. Just use that the preset. So I made a mistake there. I can either erase it or just hit undo. I took it all off. Alright, so we can add whatever you want. Remember, you can come over here and get more colors that are not in the in that color wheel. I mean, a color off to the side. Alright, that is a horrible looking coin, by the way, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Now that I know I have a coin here that looks nothing like a coin, go ahead and type in what that's called. Go to physics. Now I don't want this solid, right? We don't want our character to bounce off. We want to be able to go through it. So unclick solid, but enable collisions, because we want our character to be able to walk up to it and then, collect it. We'll go back to properties. Let's go ahead and code that we're in the coin. We're going to code it to where whenever our collision trigger, so triggers collision, whenever our main character, so our player, whenever our player walks into the coin, it will, for $100, who can tell me how to make that coin disappear? In your mind on 3, tell me how to make it disappear. Where do I need to go? I was doing the Jeopardy theme song in my head. We got the destroyer under components, the red X, right? It's always nice to have a next visual aid. That's for a reminder. How do we make it disappear? right? Go ahead and connect that. I'm going to hit play just to make sure I'm doing this. And alright, so far so good. As you see, I'm still losing some life. Started over, coin reappeared, so that's good. Once again though, I don't have a counter, so we have to go back and we have to code it in the player to show, hey, I have 3 lines, but now I have to do a counter. I have to do it the other way. Alright, so we're going to go back into our player sprite. Hit OK. And go into our main player, edit, and go into behaviors, double click on the run and jump. Alright, so I'm going to move my screen up here because I'm about to do some new line of code. It's always helpful if you keep your code looking kind of like mine until you are feel very comfortable and don't need my help as much for this particular thing because it's easier for me to just look at your code and my code, and I almost have it kind of memorized just by how it looks graphically on the screen. So if you do the very fancy way, very organized way of reorganizing your code, I think that's, I didn't even touch that. I think that's wonderful. Having said that, that will extend the process. Sorry, my little dog came in. That will extend the time process that it takes. Come here, girl. To help you diagnose any future problems that you might have. All right. So where were we? Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. We are going to make a counter for the coins. So first thing, I'm almost going to kind of copy this that we did for the collision of the spike. So I know I need a collision trigger, and I'm going to choose that, and I'm going to choose whenever my main player collides with the coin, or whatever you have yours called, right? All right. Next, I have a number block, but I'm just adding here, so I don't need to have a damage thing. It's not doing damage. I just need a counter, so I just need, I believe, 1 number block, and I'm going to get 2 labels under GUI, label, so click that twice. Alright, so let's see here. This time, though, instead of hit the get, we're going to go hit the plus. And we don't need to change that number. When I initially did this, I thought you would have to change that to 1, but keep it at 0, I guess, because you're setting the counter at 0, and then you're just, every time you get a coin, it adds 1 to that. I think that's why. At first, I thought that you were essentially coding that you have to add 1, but I think 1 is the default. I guess if you wanted to add more, you could add a second number block the same way we did that for the -1. But we're just going to add 1. Let's go ahead and click on this. I'm going to go ahead and rename that coins so that the player knows that, hey, this means coins, right? I'm going to go ahead and choose some off, I guess, well, I would do green to kind of match it, but I'm just going to keep to that black just for right now. Alright, I got that. I'm going to redo the, maybe right center. Nope, left center. Alright, let's see, that's going to be by itself. And then this next one, I'm going to click out to value. And since that's 0, the label that it connects to is also 0. Alright, let's see here. I did something here. Sorry, Alright, here we go. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and change that back. Change it to black. And hit OK. It's going to be good enough again. I just go through the videos kind of quickly. And I see how they're on top of each other, so we have to make sure that we move these over. I might do this similar format there. I've got 30 seconds. I have to make this quick. Alright, so let's see here. I'm going to hit play. And count it up 1. Real quick. I'm going to hit edit game. And now I'm going to go back into my main player, edit behaviors, double click on the run and jump. Now how we had restart game here, I'm going to do another filter and then go to math, give me a filter. Underneath the label that has 0. and we're going to go ahead and say equal to. So whenever our coin counter is equal to, let's just say, click on that and make it what, 25, right? If you have a small world, big world, 50, or whatever you want to do. So we're going to say whenever it is equal to 25, it will go ahead and go to game flow, and then go to load level, connect past the go, and we're going to say whenever you get 25, you're going to go to the next level. Or you can click on it. It says pick level. Automatically it'll go to the next level. You can go ahead and select next level. Actually, with the restart game, something to think about here. If you have multiple levels, you can change that out to a load level, and you can put instead of having them, excuse me, let's say you have 5 levels. Instead of making restart all the way from the beginning, I would say restart current level. So actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and change that out now. I'm going to go ahead and hit delete, and I'm going to go ahead and click load level, because even if you only have 1 level, it will always restart the current level. Okay, and that'll save your player from being super frustrated. All right, let's see what we got here. So I have all that done. Next level, and we'll do a portal later, so that way your player will have 2 ways to get to the next level, either by collecting coins or by finding your secret portal.